Hey guys, it's Marshall Tingle with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week, the week of September 25th through October 1st. So we talked a little bit about buyer selectivity, fall runs and all that in the past. Well, it's really all coming together for the perfect storm, which it probably normally always does this time of year. I'm pretty sure the fall run is just about came upon us. You're starting to see bigger runs through your barns, and you're also starting to see drastic shifts in your price ranges like we were talking about. We thought they were big before. This past week, they've really been spreading even further apart. So statewide, we sold just a little bit over 20,000 head of cattle through our auction markets this past week. Now, what did they call the market? Everywhere. Well, they didn't call it everywhere. That's just my words on it. So they called it steady, with some places of $3 higher to $3 lower, with instances of $8 lower to $8 higher. So this buyer selectivity and your differences on these fleshier type cattle versus a harder preconditioned type calf are getting bigger by the day. And we all kind of know it's no real surprise to us. As somebody says, October is National Dead Calf Week, or excuse me, National Dead Calf Month. But it's this weather is hard on these cattle. It's hard on us. These cool mornings, and then by the time you get back in the afternoons, that sun sure is bright and it's getting warm. And then by the time the sun goes down, it's sure enough getting chilly again. And that's just really having an impact on your health on these cattle. And that's causing trickling down to your buyer selectivity and what they're willing to give for it, because there is such a big risk in it between death loss and your medicals and pulling to your hospital pens and pulling calves. There's a lot of risk goes into these fall calves, especially when they're not weaned up and preconditioned. That's what we're seeing. Now, what they call your yearling cattle. So yearling cattle, they call them mostly steady for the most part, and from what I can tell with the numbers, it is pretty steady on these. But let's talk about these lightweight cattle coming in. Now, your full weight steer cattle this week, massive spread on these, but the top end is higher, I do believe. So your full weight steer cattle this week, you're looking at $1.55 to $2.30. Now, what are they going to average? I did the same thing this week that I did last week. I took all the numbers and added them all up and got you an actual average on all the sets. Actual average on a full weight steer calf is at $1.89. Not too bad. Now, the range from that $1.55 to $2.30, you're looking at a 75-cent spread. That's a huge spread on a full weight steer calf. Now, let's talk about your five weights. Your five weights are actually going to be a little bit tighter, I think. Your five weight steer calf, looking at $1.49 to $1.95. That comes to a spread of 46 cents. So that's probably actually a little bit less than it has been in the last couple of weeks. And your average on them, believe it or not, is only $1.82. So that's not too much of a difference between your full weight steer cattle and, like I said, a huge spread on these things. Now, let's talk about these yearlings. Like I said, yearlings are still pretty steady. Go through your weight classes real fast. So here's 59 head of these. These are going to be black and Charolais cross steer cattle, 793 pounds on the average, $1.7525. Not too bad. Here's 43 of these, a little bit heavier. 43 head of these black steers, 843 pounds on the average. You're looking at $170, $175, so still not too bad. Now here you get a little bit heavier. Here's 59 head of these. These are black steers, 852 pounds on the average. You're looking at 872 pounds. 872 pounds on the average, $172.50. And close out your 8 weights with a big heavy set. Here's 72 head of these steers, all black steers, 891 pounds on the average, $1.7390. So not too bad. But here's one big thing I do want to have as a standout. Check out this big standout of 6-weight steer cattle. This isn't a load of them. This isn't just a big old bunch of them. Now, 23 head of black steers, 620 pounds on the average, $1.9050. That's a strong trade on a 6-weight steer calf right now. That dollar's up to $1,181 and maybe just a few cents change on the backside. But $1,180 going in, so say $1,200 going in, and you're getting $1.7390 for them on the backside. That's what you're looking at on your market as far as your spread between your 6s and your heavy 8s right now. But let's talk about this CME feeder cattle index. So, see, the CME feeder cattle index was pretty strong and pretty consistent the first half of the week, and then it was pretty consistent the back half of the week. But there about Tuesday, well, actually Wednesday, we saw about a $1.52 drop on that. So let's talk about that real fast. So start off the 26th, you're looking at 177.82 is your CME feeder cattle index. By the time we got to the 27th, you're looking at 177.46. So about a 40-cent change there, not too bad. Now here's where the drop is on Wednesday. Wednesday the 28th, 175.94. Now Thursday we dropped again about 50 cents on that. You're looking at the 29th at 175.46. and Friday closed out pretty consistent to Thursday there. Friday the 30th, 175.44. So that's what's going on in your CME feeder cattle index and the cattle trade nationwide, so to speak. But if you have any questions on this, or if you have any questions on your LRP policy, your livestock risk protection policy, feel free to reach out to us. Call Ian Thomas, Superior Ag Insurance. Ian Thomas, 859-613-2453. Check us out on the web, www.superioragins.com. Talk to you soon.